But that's intelligence. Now, how do you work with it? Yeah, it's a model. How do you work with it? The question we asked ourselves is, what would creative work actually look like in the age of unified intelligence? When you have this amount of power, how do you work with it? So we didn't stop at Uni 1. For the past year at Luma, we have been thinking very deeply about it. And for hundreds of millions of people who create, design, build things for a living, this work spans across text files, designs, blueprints, photos, videos, audio, and even in the physical world. These are creatives who make movies, build brands, produce legendary ads we remember forever, and drive nearly every pixel we encounter on our screens. These are teachers and educators who help the next generation learn about our world. These are entrepreneurs, analysts, corporate teams that need to communicate their idea to drive progress. But AI for such work today looks like a mess. You're expected to carry around context in all these different files. Each tool only partially understands the context and what you're trying to do, and you keep prompting until something kind of sort of works. And then we see it on Twitter. The best solution right now that people have come up with is the spaghetti of nodes, which we call node monsters at Luma. And people call these workflows, right? Issue is, these are brittle. Creative work is never exactly the same. Even the simplest tasks never exactly run the same way. We hear from our customers that they spend more time building the tooling than actually using it. All of these issues make the current workflows fundamentally unscalable. And you know why? Because there's really nothing intelligent here. It's plumbing. Introducing Luma Agents, AI collaborators with unified intelligence. These can perform end-to-end creative work and be a part of your team. Let's take a look.
Creative ambition is expanding, but the creative process hasn't changed. But what if the process finally caught up? Imagine a new kind of collaborator. You set the direction. They scale execution with you. Creative agents that understand the physical world. See what comes next. Explore more possibilities. Collaborate with other creatives. Ideas multiply. And what once took weeks happens in moments.
That's Luma Agents. Let me tell you a little bit about them. So there are 5 things to note about them. They're built with unified intelligence, infinite multimodal context. They're able to do self-evaluations. They support multiplayer collaboration. And finally, all these things come together to allow end-to-end task completion. Let's talk about unified intelligence. Luma Agents produce work that understand the world. Accurate lighting, real physics, coherent spaces, believable materials. This is possible because they have access to nearly every creative tool imaginable. Image generation, video, audio, code generation, 3D simulation, search, analysis, planning, math. And it's all brought to action by the one agent. It's the only one you will ever need. Next, creative agents, generally node problem happens because you're trying to carry information across from every tool to the other. Every AI tool today sees things one prompt at a time and then immediately forgets about it. No idea what you're actually trying to do. Luma agents see everything, your entire project, across every modality, every image, every video, every document, revision, script that you have ever made. All of it and all at once. You don't prompt your teammates, you talk to them. They remember. That's how Luma works. This means the best person to work with Luma agents isn't a prompt engineer. It's your best creatives and the people who know your business. It's not sufficient to just do the work. Luma agents can actually look at what they made and judge it. Does it match the lighting in the reference? Is the composition balanced? Does this feel on brand? Is it physically accurate? This is what made coding agents as powerful as they are. It's not generation of code, it's evaluation and running the code. When they spot issues, they will automatically try to fix the problem using every tool at their disposal. They learn from your preferences and past decisions, so you can teach them what good looks like. This makes Luma a teammate that learns and grows and gets better and more efficient over time. Next is multiplayer collaboration. Creative work is never done solo. Luma agents are built from the ground up for multiplayer. Your team and AI agents working on the same board at the same time. Your team can split up. One person art directing hero shots, another refining copy, another building a video, all on the same board, all with agents, all sharing the same context. So all of these capabilities come together into what we call task completion. You give Luma agent a brief. It plans the work, breaks it into steps, generating across formats, evaluating its work along the way, and comes back to you when it needs your eye. You guide the things, it builds it. Not one image, but a campaign. Not a draft, but finished work. So let's take a look what that actually looks like. All right, so we're going to take a look at Luma agents for the first time. So I'll walk you through what this board is and what we're doing here, but let me actually tell you what I'm trying to do here. So I love working with people in person. I love working with our customers, and this means I fly a lot. So it would be really, it's such a miss that we actually don't have the Concorde anymore. Wouldn't it be great to fly around the planet at Mach 2? So, let's imagine what a Concorde built in 2026 will look like. All right, so what you see here is what we call a board. This is the place you collaborate with your creative agents. Here is chat. Language is a universal interface, and this is where you talk to your agents. You can ask for specific tools here when you're trying to do something, or you can completely work in high level, which is how we have found most people to actually be using Luma agents. All of this work happens in the board right here. This is not arranged or done by a person. This is all generated by the agent. Most frequently used tools are also available right down here in the toolbar. That includes things for making specific kind of modalities, but also for drawing, editorial, and as well as documents. So let's work on our Concorde revival, all right? So I asked the agents, imagine Concorde, a supersonic passenger plane, but made in 2026. Design it and show me 20 ideas. Here is what it came up with. As it starts to work, it will actually go through the full thinking process, create a plan, and then execute it. You can actually follow through. You can ask it in the middle and interrupt it to do something different. It came up with these ideas. I don't particularly like those, but this one is just epic. This is, I think, how it would look like. But paint in airplanes generally adds to weight, so we'll have to solve that problem later. You also see one other example here. You see this thumbs down emoji on the asset. This is the agent itself evaluating AI artifacts on the cockpit. Lumpy fuselage lacks sharpness, right? And I think when we look at it, that's very true. This doesn't look like any kind of aerodynamic thing that would ever fly. Luma agents are able to go and look at extreme degree of detail in high resolution. Here's another example where we actually created butterfly wings or some kind of wings, and the agent correctly rejected that because I don't think that's going to work out. All right, so we really like that plane, but we just have a plane. I can't actually take it on or take on it. So I asked it, OK, show me the plane from every angle. Like, this looks very good, but like, how does it look when we actually look at it from the front, from the top? And I think this is actually the winner, right? I mean, this looks absolutely sick. I don't think we are at the level of accuracy where we can design the plane, but we'll get there, definitely. But this looks pretty good, right? Good enough to send to someone and bug them to make the next Concorde. All right, so we have a plane, but now we need to do the work of actually commercializing it and materializing it. OK, so this plane is it. Now help me launch an airline. And I'm going to call it FTL, faster than light. Design beautiful livery for it and how it would look in the terminal. That's pretty much all the input and all the instructions. And Luma Agents basically start from thinking about, OK, how would the boarding passes look? How would you try to actually position the brand and things like that? And then that brand appears on the plane. Consistent, but also trying different ideas. This is how the airport appears. We're still in ideation phase. Now, we are here. OK, we have some semblance of an airline. We have a plane. But we still need to tell the world about it, right? So let's do something here. So I'm going to ask it. Now, let's tell the world about it. Design a full-scale campaign for Instagram and billboards. And we'll let it do its job. In the meantime, we have to figure out how to pay for it. I think this is going to be very, very expensive. So I had an idea. NVIDIA went public in '99. So I was like, what if, because we can go faster than light now, that means we can travel back in time. So what if we could go back in time? So I gave Luma Agents a 100-page investor prospectus for, that NVIDIA issued during its take public. And I asked them, hey, create a detailed 20-minute presentation using this info and nothing else for an institutional investor considering participating in take public. Use professional banking-style presentations. It turned on that for a bit and worked through about 100 pages of the documentation. And this is what it came up with. Now, it's really important to ask it to use nothing else, otherwise it will go search on the web and immediately tell me, buy it, right? Which is a problem. You see the capability of Luma Agents in not just rendering the pixels. Pixels are just a medium, like words are just a medium of conveying information. When you combine intelligence with pixels, you get the ability to do things like this. You get the ability to convey detailed information that generally people would spend weeks actually making these kind of things. I looked through pretty much all of these, verified it personally and using a bunch of things. It was fully accurate, but I still won't claim that you should use this for investment. But we kind of ran into a logical problem, actually, because this was '99, and if you're following time travel correctly, I would be about 9 years old. So I wouldn't be able to buy this stock. So then I asked agents to make it like I'm a 9-year-old trying to convince my parents to buy the NVIDIA stock. And this is what it came up with. We need to buy NVIDIA stock, please. What even is NVIDIA, right? I don't think my parents would know at that time, but I think this would convince them. OK, we can go back to FTL if things are OK. We started giving access to people, so things might be getting slow now. But what you see here is I asked it to start producing campaigns, and it started work on all of those things at the same time. Now, I want to point out something very critical. Currently, if you're used to using AI tools, by the way, if you don't use AI tools, this all looks like rocket science, right? Like, this is all crazy. This is awesome that you can make all of this already. But if you're used to using AI tools, you would have been prompting for every single image, figuring out how to get the right composition, what to do with the prompt. Here, I didn't actually even carry the reference. The model understands what I'm trying to do. The agents understand what I'm trying to accomplish, take the right references, and produce entire campaigns. I mean, of course, we will not make it live. There's a lot of editorial work necessary on it. But able to get me great ideas on what this should actually look like. Now departing JFK. All right. OK, I will let it finish. I want to show you something else in the meantime. This was just me playing with Luma Agents. But when we give creatives, great creatives, access to Luma, things kind of go crazy. Finally, Luma Agents are available starting today, And we'll bring the whole Luma agent platform to enterprises across the world very soon, where you can build and integrate them into your own systems. Okay, today we started out with a question. What if you stopped building intelligence in pieces and built it as one thing? Today, you've seen the answer. Unified intelligence, Uni 1, Luma Agents, and the first wave of partners and creators already building with them. This is not a vision. It's here. And we're just getting started. I am deeply, deeply grateful to the Luma team who made this all possible, to our partners, our investors, and for all of you for being a part of this today. Thank you very much.